For as long as anybody can remember, the beautiful voice and profound lyrics of country music legend Vince Gill have won over listeners. Tragic news broke lately about the iconic singer, shocking fans and family. He is overcome with emotion and trepidation as he begins a new chapter in his life, following decades of victory and achievement. In the midst of this challenging period, what is ahead for Vince Gill? It all started in Norman, Oklahoma. A star was born on a sunny spring day in 1957 in the little town of Norman, Oklahoma. Even before he was born on April 12th, Vince Gill's house was rocking with music. He was the youngest of 3 siblings. Stan Gill and his mother Jareen were both influential musicians. After hours, Stan would jam out on guitar and banjo, complementing his day job as a revered judge. His mom, Jareen, could play the harmonica and had a beautiful voice. There was a mashup of Grand Ole Opry music and the new rock and roll era at the Gill family. It was obvious that young Vince had great potential from the get-go. At the tender age of 5, Vince took up his grandmother's guitar, sparking a lifelong passion for music. He was already playing with his half-brother Bob when he was 8 years old, and he mastered the iconic melody Old Shep in no time at all. Playing covers of popular songs like Long Tall Texan by the Beach Boys would be a fun way for them to delight local radio listeners. Their contagious enthusiasm and silky harmonies were a perfect combination. However, that was only the first step. Stan, Vince's dad, was quick to see his son's aptitude and encouraged him to develop it. He set up a session for Vince to learn guitar from a master in the area, Jay. Everyone knows Julian Atkins, since the more Vince played, the more he loved the instrument. His musical abilities extended beyond his rendition of The House of the Rising Sun, which he performed at school show-and-tell sessions and won over classmates with. Vince put in a lot of time and effort as a youngster to become proficient on several instruments such as the dobro, violin, mandolin, and bass guitar. His ability to combine genres and push musical limits became a characteristic of his career, thanks to his flexibility. At around this time, Vince became acquainted with the son of a friend of his dad's, and their acquaintance piqued Vince's interest in bluegrass music. It was evident that this genre was beckoning to Vince, since this new sound enchanted him. Nothing was squandered by Vince after high school. He was a member of Mountain Smoke, a bluegrass band, and they even opened for Kiss. There were several bumps along the way. As they were performing, the audience started booing and hurling things at the performers. Vince, unfazed, made a threatening gesture to the onlookers before storming away. However, he was unfazed by this event. He uprooted his life and relocated to the bluegrass music capital of the world, Kentucky. While in Kentucky, Vince became a member of Bluegrass Alliance in Boone Creek, which included Ricky Skaggs, a budding star in the industry. As Vince persisted in perfecting his skills and fully embracing the bluegrass culture, this marked a turning point in his career. Still, he had more adventures ahead of him. Vince relocated to Los Angeles in 1976 and became a member of fiddler Byron Berlin's backing band. Because of his time on the West Coast, Vince was able to expand his musical horizons and add new styles to his repertoire. It became increasingly apparent as Vince's career progressed that he was more than just a musician. He was truly remarkable. His voice, which possessed a combination of bluegrass phrasing and profound emotional range, became famous very fast. He won awards for both his songs and his heartbreaking tenor voice. Vince's guitar playing was famous, and he frequently received accolades for his ability to jam with the best session musicians in Nashville. Vince's work with the Eagles and other groups, such as Pure Prairie League, displayed his abilities as well. His openness to experimenting with many musical styles further established him as a revolutionary and adaptable musician. As Sarah Rodman of Entertainment Weekly so aptly put it, "The guitar prowess of a man who made a deal with the devil and a tenor kissed by angels characterized the Oklahoma native Vince." Vince wasn't only a country star, he was a link between old country and the current crop of performers. Jeffrey B. Rems, a music writer, lauded Vince for his powerful tenor and amazing guitar talents, saying that his live performances were unforgettable and could go on for hours. The charisma and intensity of Vince's live performances made him famous. The outstanding guitar solos by Vince, which fused talent with a lovely emotion, were also praised by Joe Basso of Guitar World. Passion, tenacity, and unparalleled skill characterize Vince Gill's path. The tale of how he rose from obscurity in Norman, Oklahoma, to become a household name in country music is an inspiration. Knowing that whatever this renowned musician does next, his legion of fans can't wait for it to be spectacular. Music, grief, and love, a journey through it all. I just play what's necessary. Although Vince has admitted that his method is straightforward, Joe Scamato, author of The Vince Gill Story, notes that Vince's playing is far but average. It's unusual for performers in country music, where Vince specializes, to be able to do double duty as lead guitarist and vocalist. Scamato emphasizes Vince's own approach by drawing parallels to the music of legendary artists like Eric Clapton and Chet Atkins. Vince has a wide range of musical inspirations that reflect his unique skills. Vince has stated that artists such as Patsy Cline and Kitty Wells had an influence on him as a child, and he lists the legendary Merle Haggard as one of his main influences. Haggard is described by Vince as the greatest singer, the greatest phraser, and Vince has also said that Haggard's songs were really poetic. His varied musical tastes are on full display, as he has been moved by the raw, honest music of artists like John Fogerty and Bruce Springsteen. Vince found inspiration for his own straightforward approach to songwriting in Hank Williams's music. Compared to his contemporaries, Vince frequently featured more self-penned songs on his albums, as pointed out by Scamato. He is well respected in the music industry for his innovative ideas and exceptional musical talent. He has a dual role as an artist and a guide for others around him. Among those who sought his counsel were Jason Sellers, who played bass in Vince's touring band in the 90s, and bluegrass musician Charlie Worsham, who said that Vince's Liza Jane was among the first guitar tunes he ever studied. In 2018, Vince went above and above by giving Worsham a custom-made guitar as a present, further establishing his reputation as a generous and encouraging person in the music scene. Go Rest High on That Mountain, Vince Gill's most famous and beloved song, is incredibly moving and has the power to touch the hearts of many, particularly those who have experienced the profound loss of a loved one. The song's inspiration comes from a deeply personal narrative that revolves around loss, friendship, and family. Friend and fellow musician Keith Whitley's untimely death in 1989 from alcohol intoxication served as the catalyst for Vince's composition, Go Rest High on That Mountain. The loss hit Vince hard, and he struggled to find the right words to express his emotions in a song. The song stayed unfinished for years as he battled with the anguish. When Vince's brother Bob died in 1993, he felt a new surge of sadness and decided to finish the song he had begun for Keith again. Once again, Vince was able to give Go Rest High on That Mountain his all, and the song was finally finished. Honoring their lives and the influence they had on him, the song evolved into a memorial to both Keith and his brother Bob. Upon its 1995 debut, the song immediately became a rallying cry for individuals struggling with grief. It has been played at memorials, funerals, and gatherings, easing the pain of innumerable individuals. Performing the song brings up strong emotions in Vince. As the music transports him back to those times of grief, he frequently finds himself fighting back tears. As he sings, it's as if he's beckoning listeners to join him in reuniting with his departed loved ones. The tragic loss of Vince's two loved ones is just the beginning of the profound emotions explored in Go Rest High on That Mountain. Tragic events have an impact on Vince's life and music. His parents' divorce affected him and his family greatly as a child, and the pain he felt as a result informed his music as an adult. Themes of family, love, and connection are prevalent in his music, which frequently reflects his early experiences of anguish and desire. The death of Vince's father further enriched his appreciation for family and love. All these years, he's been able to work through his feelings via music, and every song is a reflection of his journey. As Vince belts out, Go Rest High on That Mountain, it's as if he's taking his listeners on a journey through the memories, both happy and sad. What makes Vince's songs so impactful is his honesty and openness. He transforms his singing into an intimate encounter rather than a mere presentation. In his songs, he hopes that people might experience love, grief, and hope. People keep coming back to his songs because of this connection. Not only does Vince perform, but he also makes the audience feel as though they are a part of his journey. Although Vince is most known for his emotionally charged song "Go Rest High on That Mountain," it is by no means his sole composition that explores profound feelings. The subject of unfiltered, truthful storytelling is carried over from his 1995 album, When Love Finds You. The intricacies of love, grief, and personal development are mirrored in songs such as "I Still Believe in You" and "Maybe I'm Crazy." As if Vince were expressing their own feelings of loss and hope, the songs hit close to home for the fans. An outstanding song on the album, "What's He Doing in My World?" recounts the narrative of a lady whose spouse has abandoned her. Despite his gender, Vince has an extraordinary gift for expressing the isolation and suffering that this woman has endured. What makes his music so captivating is his talent for evoking universal feelings and putting himself in other people's situations. Listeners are taken on an emotional journey by Vince Gill's music, which goes beyond just melodies and lyrics. "Go Rest High on That Mountain's Eerie Beauty" and Vince's other songs' honest storytelling are examples of his ability to convey real feelings, which has made him a legendary figure in country music. You may hear a hint of something more profound even in his most upbeat tunes, such as "Take One More Last Chance." Underneath the cheerfulness of this romantic song comes a feeling of vulnerability, that love and happiness are fleeting and valuable. Vince possesses a remarkable ability to authentically convey both happiness and sadness via his music. Vince does a wonderful job of expressing how life isn't simple but complex. The uniqueness of his music lies in the fact that it is both intimately personal and intimately tailored to your needs. If you've ever been through a painful breakup or loss, his songs will speak to your deepest, darkest, most secret emotions. Vince has a gift for writing songs that go straight to the heart and touch on topics that aren't always easy to articulate. Vince has found solace in music during his challenging moments. He has channeled his pain, his family's hardships, and his own losses into music that helps him and countless others. Isn't that the beauty of music? It aids our survival, provides some solace, and makes us feel less isolated. Vince Gill's life has been a very personal journey, replete with highs and lows. In addition to overcoming obstacles in his professional life, he has also had to deal with the intricacies of his personal relationships. Love and heartache in marriage. Their hectic schedules and celebrity were too much for musician Janice Oliver, who was married to Vince and a member of the Sweethearts of the Rodeo. They split up in 1997 after realizing that their shared passion of music had been eroded by their husband's incessant travel and stress. Despite being a doting father to his daughter Jenny, Vince was going through a hard patch in his marriage. After his split, Vince had to figure out how to recover by facing his shortcomings. This chapter of his life served as yet another reminder of the high price of fame and the lengths to which its pursuit can drive individuals. During this period, his artwork depicts a guy undergoing a transformation. At the time, his songs resonated with listeners because they dealt with heavy emotions like grief, remorse, and self-discovery. Amy Grant, a Christian music singer, gave Vince a fresh start when he feared his romantic life had come to an end. Their relationship sprang from a profound bond they had. Their marriage in the year 2000 united their families and marked the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. But there are challenges to merging families. Vince had to adjust to a new way of life with his family, deal with stepchildren, and co-parent. Vince and Amy remained together and joyful despite the challenges they faced. He claims she was there for him when things were at their worst. They created a warm and welcoming home for one another, and his music reflected the ways in which his second marriage had brought him healing, joy, and gratitude. The couple's extensive musical collaborations demonstrate to audiences how much they share a passion for music. Duets featuring them, such as the popular House of Love, highlight their simpatico and musical prowess. Health struggles. Yet there's more. Because of health issues he's had throughout the years, Vince Gill has tried to avoid the spotlight. Among 2018's most challenging experiences was dealing with kidney stones. As a result of his illness, he had a kidney infection which necessitated medical attention and caused him significant discomfort. She had to postpone a number of performances due to her illness, including a highly anticipated performance at the CMA Awards, which came at the worst possible moment. In 2020, Vince Gill did not have renal problems. He was born with a cardiac ailment. The musician and his fans were greatly concerned about his health when he was diagnosed with this ailment, which hinders blood flow from his lungs to his heart. The fact that Vince didn't give up when he took a break to concentrate on getting healthier is evidence of his strength and determination. Regardless of these obstacles, Vince Gill has remained a pillar of the country music industry and a revered performer whose impact extends well beyond his personal achievements. Especially up-and-coming artists have benefited from his prominence, which he has utilized to promote their music. Because of his dedication to mentoring aspiring country music performers, Vince has earned the respect and admiration of his contemporaries. As an example of his kindness and commitment to the industry, Vince has worked with the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. As a director of the museum, Vince has done much to preserve country music's history and legacy. Many initiatives that seek to respect and celebrate the lives and achievements of notable artists have used his voice and expertise. There is more to Vince Gill's philanthropic activity than just the music industry. He has always been a dedicated supporter of several charitable organizations, devoting both time and money to causes that he believes in. Vince's commitment to improving the world exemplifies his character and values. He achieves this by advocating for animal rights and donating to local children's hospitals. One of the most remarkable aspects of Vince's work is the way he has managed to reconcile his own issues with a profound appreciation for and humility toward others. Regardless of the challenges he has faced, he remains dedicated to his craft and strives for continuous artistic growth. Everybody in the music industry looks up to him because of his constant pursuit of greatness and genuine concern for his followers. Vince has also gained notoriety as a mentor and advocate for budding artists in recent years. He has been approached by several aspiring musicians who are looking for someone to mentor them, provide them guidance, and just listen. Because of his generosity, it is clear that Vince thinks music can help people, inspire them, and unite them. Vince Gill never fails to amaze, whether he's performing one of his trademark ballads or experimenting with a whole new sound. In an industry where impersonality and disconnection are common, he stands out as an example of genuineness. His music reflects who he is since it is open, honest, and emotionally charged. He is one of the greatest storytellers in music today because of his unfaltering dedication to emotional honesty. It is difficult to witness the personal troubles of someone we respect, and Vince Gill's followers have been profoundly impacted by them. He is our hope for recovery and strength. If you want to see more updates on this tragic tragedy, hit the subscribe button and like button